Right. Good evening, everyone. This is Bhargav. We are here to discuss on this performance part two, continuation to the last week performance webinar session. So, people who did not join last week, we have, we have went through the basic things like what is a goal, competency, how many types of competencies, what all will be part of review form and all that. So for your reference, who want to go through the webinar part one link, we have did it in the, we have messaged you in the uh, chats here. So please go through it. I could see there are people joining still. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. We'll start the session exactly at 4:05. Right. So we have attached a attachment in the handouts. I request everybody to go through it. that would be a very elaborative one where you would find, I mean, definitions and the structures of each and every thing in the performance management system. And as Javed and Samhita shared, we have shared a video which will give you a basic idea of what is a performance management system. And then we have also given you a link which will which is the recording for the performance part 1. So please go through it. And yes, as I said, we performance webinar last week, and we were able to complete the basic things like what is a goal, competency, and the types of competencies, core values, and all that, to just give you a continuation. uh, you will have 4 things on which you will rate your employees during your reviews. First one will be goal, and then competencies, core values, and the review questionnaire. So goal is nothing but where you will have a target set for an employee, and you will have a start value and an end value to that particular goal, and people will start working on it during that period, and you can rate employees based on the progress they have achieved on that particular goal. And competency is nothing but using these competencies you will achieve a goal. So let's say goal is achieving of a 1 lakh monthly revenue as a goal, and the start date and end date would be Feb 1st to Feb 28th. Whereas competencies can be communication skills and the negotiation skills. During, I mean, using these 2 competencies, employees would achieve a goal of achieving 1 lakh monthly revenue for a month. And let me share my screen. Right. Can you all view my screen? Cool. Right. As I said, we will have 3 types of competencies in the competencies. One is core, common success, and the job specific. Job specific will be completely related to your job, and this varies from department to department and designation to designation. Whereas common success competencies are something which you will find common between 2 things. It can be 2 departments, it can be 2 designations, it can be 2 job titles, it can be anything. Whereas core competences is something which you will expect it from everybody in the organization, irrespective to the departments and designations. So examples can be, integrity is a core competency which you will expect from everybody in the organization. Punctuality can be a core competency, whereas common success competencies can be like, decision making skills. So even though it applies for a, you have 2 people, one is a sales manager and other is an HR manager. So even though they belong to 2 different teams, 2 different departments, but there is a competency called decision making skills which you find it common between those 2 people. So those 2 roles actually. So you can make that as a common success. And whereas job specific will be completely related to their job, what they are doing. Like HR team can have a job specific competency like hiring 5 folks in next quarter, or retaining, maintaining zero exits for this quarter, something like that. Whereas sales team will have a different competencies like closing 10 deals this month or having 20 meetings this month, something like that. Right. So that's about competencies, and then you have core value. So core value, which will which will project your company's, your organization's vision. So as I said, KCA's vision is to simplify things. So whatever we do, we will keep in mind that we will simplify things. So if you have something like that, you can make that as a core value. And then you have review questionnaire where you will have certain questions, and those questions will be posed to the employees, and employees can answer those questions and rate themselves on those questions. So this is just a backdrop of what we have discussed in the last session. So in the last session, we have stopped in the review. Right. So last time we have stopped it just by completing the review process. And today I'll explain you how to set up a review form. So before setting up the review form, I'd like to tell you, as I said, there are four things which will be part of your review form: goals, competencies, core values, and questionnaire. And before explaining you this, let me explain you how do we assign competencies to employees. So in this screen, you will create competencies, and we should assign these to employee. So how do we assign this to employee? Through job functions. So I'll add one job function and show you. So this is a job function where I will make a chat in, let's say, some department, and then I will have an option where you can add competencies. So if I click on competencies, I'll get to see what are the competencies I have it in the previous screen. So from here you can choose whatever competency you want to choose. Let's say you will get to see what type of competency also here. So this is a job specific, this is a common success, and then core competencies also here. So let's say I'm selecting these two, and then two common success, and save this. So here I will get to see four competencies, and I'll have to give weightages here. So this weightages should be sum of 100. I'll save this. So now I have created a job function, and I have added competencies to those, and I'm so if I want to select this job function, I can okay. So we have created a job function. Now how do we assign this to an employee? By going to the assign job function screen. So here you will get to see employees. So let's say you want to assign this to Mr. Shivakumar. You will go to the job function here, and you will see where is the HR department job function. There are many job functions here. Fine. So I'll just take something for reference. So this is a job function, let's say, and you can give weightage 100%. Whereas, let's say, if you want to assign two job functions to it, one can be a primary, other can. So when can this happen? So let's say yours is a half yearly review where 3 months an employee has worked on a different team and 3 months he has worked on a different team, whereas his competencies has been changed. So you will have primary competency as the current one and the secondary competency as the previous one. And you can give the weightage like 50-50 here, this way. So you will give this competency and you will click on save changes, right? So this is how we create job functions and we assign job functions to employees. Are we good so far? Okay, cool. Thank you. Right. So now I'll take you through the setup review form. So once you click on review form, you will get to see self, peers, reporting manager, and the L2 manager, which we have created as part of review process. So once you click on here, you will get to see review form sections. So there are no sections that have been added. To add, click here. So when I click here, you will get a pop-up with all the four which I just said now. Let's say you want to go with just the competencies. You will click on this and you can choose how employees can rate the competencies, or if you want to add one more, you can click on objectives and add. So this is how you add competencies and the objectives. So competencies we have already assigned to employees, and how system will consider the objectives based on the time frames. So let's say if you give Q4 2019 or Q4 2020, which means a set of goals will be assigned to a time frame, and if you select this time frame, which means the goals which are assigned to this time frame will be part of this review process, this review form. This is how give objectives to the review form, and then you can select how you want employees to rate on this. So if you want rating and if you want to make comment mandatory, you can make it, which means employee has to give his rating on these particular goals and employee has to comment on this particular goal. Until and unless he complete these two things, he can submit the review form. And you have another option called show not applicable. So you have added goals for everybody, and there are one or two new joinees who even don't know what are those goals. So you can have this option where you will get an option called not applicable for every goal. So if employees feel that is not part of their goals or competencies, they can just click on not applicable and system will not even consider those for the rating calculation as well. And if you click on allow attachments, employees can attach something which they can work on. So it can be any file, it can be a Word, it can be any file. They can attach those and submit the review forms. And then here comes the so competencies. We did not give any weightage to the competencies, so we are left out with objectives. So we have to give it for 100. So if you give it for less than 100, system will not allow you. So you have to give 100, only then system will employee to submit it. So we are done with form for employee. So similarly, we have to do this review form for reporting manager and L2 manager. So I'm gonna do it. Right. So we are done with the setting of review forms for all the four of our people who will be part of the review. And then if you go back, so you will have a tick mark here on the review form, which means you are done with the review form settings as well. So we are done with review process. We are done with the review form now. I guess we're all clear. I'm not too fast or too slow. Right. Cool. By the way, we have Javed and Samhita who is trying really hard to address all your queries. So we will mostly try to address all your queries over chat, because even we want to make it clear before the session ends. But there are certain questions which will need us to check your configurations, or we need you to take you through. So please don't mind, or don't hesitate to reach us or drop us a mail at support@kk.com for you know any help needed. So right now we have done with the review process, review form settings, and we need to assign employees to this particular review cycle. So how do we do this is, first we will add employees to this particular group. So you will have employees in this group here. Click on this, click on add them. Oops. So if we have validated this because an employee cannot be part of two groups, because technically that cannot be possible. So we have this validation. Make sure that an employee will not be part of two review cycles. If you have anything as such, we cannot do this in the system, because there would be problems coming up with the ratings front. So I'm trying to employees here. Right, I'm really sorry that this is a demo instance, so the data is inappropriate here. Right, I guess you got this basic idea where you like what needs to be done here. So as I said, first you have to add employees to the review group, and then you have to add employees to the review cycle. So once you add review cycle, so people will be part of this particular HR department review process. So you can check this through review administration. So I have two employees selected here to show you how does this initiate reviews and the nomination and the review in progress works. So if you check this, you will get to see all the employees whose review has to be initiated. So until this step, employees will not get any notifications because you're doing all this in the backend. So employees will not get to know what's going on. Until this particular step, they'll not receive any notifications. Once you select this employee and click on initiate review, they'll start receiving mails from this step that your HR manager has initiated your with the review name, review group called Customer Success Feb 9, 2019. Please go ahead and submit your reviews. So this is a notification which they will receive. And once you click on initiate review, system pop up with all the steps saying employee will be moved to the next relevant step, nomination step in case additional reviewers, reviews in progress step in case no additional. So this is the process. System will give you the process here, and once you confirm, this particular D will be moved to the next step, which is nominations. So from here, employees will nominate employees, and from here, employees will submit their reviews, and you can do calibration and you can finalize the rating. So if there are anybody who needs more information on what is nomination, what is reviews in progress, and what is calibration, please go through the part recording. I have spent almost 1.5 hours on this terms and definitions. Right. So what if you want to cancel a review? So what if there is something problem and you want to cancel the reviews? So you can always come to this particular review process. Let's say you want to cancel this employee. So you will just select this employee and click on cancel review. And once you cancel, you can reinitiate the reviews anytime, of course. And so once you cancel the reviews, employee will also receive a notification saying your reviews has been cancelled. And this particular employee will be moved to the initiate review stage again, where you can make changes or where you can talk to employees and you can initiate review again. Or if you want to remove this particular employee from the completely, you can do that as well by clicking on remove from cycle. So this is how the basic flow. So in the initiate reviews, you will be initiating the reviews where employees will get a notification saying your reviews are ready, please go ahead and submit those. And then you will have nominations where you can nominate somebody, and not to misuse the system, we have set up approval over there as well, where if employee nominates any two of their team members, for instance, that will go for an approval to the reporting manager. Reason being, reporting manager will have that knowledge on their teammates and their relations. So if reporting manager think or feel that they both deserve to review this particular employee, they'll approve the nominations. If not, they can reject the nominations. That will come to the employee again, and he can nominate some other people. So once the nominations has been approved, then his actual review process will start, where employee can rate himself on where employee can rate himself on the goals, competencies, and everything. And once employee has submitted the review form, that will go to the reporting manager for approval, and sorry, not approval, for his ratings and comments. Once reporting manager has submitted, that will go for L2 manager. And if you want peers or subordinates to be part of it, even you can have them in middle of any of these steps. It can be after employee, it can be after reporting manager, it can be anywhere. You have that customization in system. And once all of these three has submitted, you will get a overall rating. Let's say you have got some 4.5 out of 5 for an employee, where you think that employee does not deserve 4.5, he deserves only 3.5. So not to worry, we have a step called calibration where you can calibrate their ratings, you can normalize their ratings. So you, before this calibration, we would suggest everybody to have a one-on-one meeting where where you can have this one-on-one meeting and explain employee why he deserves only 3.5, why not 4.5, and what is his expectations for the next quarter or next future. And then you can calibrate from 4.5 to 3.5, which will become the ultimate rating in the process. So once this 3.5 has been done, you can move this to next stage, which is a finalized stage where you will release these ratings and comments to employees. And if you want to hide anything, and if you want to not to be much transparent here, we have those options as well, where we can hide reporting managers names, L2 managers name, we can hide the comments, we can release only the ratings. So we have all those settings in the review process settings. I can say that's really flexible in Keka. And once you release the ratings, employee will get the ratings, and that would be the end of the review process. Are we clear so far? Cool. Uh, right. Do you want me to cover anything? Okay. Questionnaire. Right. I have covered it already, but yes, I can do it again. Right. So questions, you can do it from here, reviews and question bank. So you can have a template and you can have all the questions stored. So template can be HR team, and you can add questions here. How good are you at hiring right folks? Is a question. You can ask them to rate it, and you can make comment mandatory and save. So one question has, we have created HR team, and one question has been added. So if you want to add more, you just edit and click on add questions, and you can have it here. What are process changes you suggest for the quarter, let's say, and you can make this comment mandatory and you can update, which means you have added HR team template and you have two questions under HR team. Similarly, you can have different question banks and you can have number of questions to it. We do not have any restriction on number of questions or anything. Right. Okay. I guess we are good to go now. Then we have okay. So people were asking me about what is the difference between performance and the potential here. Uh, I can show you this now because I thought I'll explain this first and then tell you what is this actual difference here. Right. So here you have what do you want to measure employees on, whether it is a performance or a potential. So what is the difference between performance and potential is, so performance is something where you will rate your employees on things that has happened, that has already happened, which means you are doing these reviews post process, which is a regular and a traditional process which has been following across organizations. Whereas there are customers who would follow a process called potential process, where they want to set how potential is an employee on particular thing. So let's say there is something called, let's go with the same example we have been going from, we have been considering it from the starting of the webinar, which is achieving 1 lakh monthly revenue for the month of February is a goal. If you think how potential is employee, you will have a rating scale out of 1 to 5. You can rate his potential over there, and also you will get the performance rating scale, which means you will get two rating scales. One is for potential, one is for performance. So usually this will be used in the organizations where they follow 9 box model. So 9 box model is again a lengthy thing, but I'll cut it short and tell you shortly. So 9 box model is something where you will have this potential and performance. If you could Google what is a 9 box model, you will get a 9 box images. Okay, I'll Google it and show you. Right. So this is an example of a 9 box model where you will have x-axis and y-axis, and it can be anything. In this, it is potential and performance. In most of the cases, that would be potential and performance. So you will have this 9 box model where you will consider how potential is employee and how performer is an employee. So if you look at this, you have low performer and high potential, and you have moderate performer and high potential, things like this. So you can have potential versus performance here. And when you choose potential in KEKA, system will automatically give you 9 box model. Yes, KEKA has 9 box model in place, and you will get this in the system. So this is a very short thing about 9 box model, because this is a very vast subject where I'll have to spend some 30 to 40 minutes on this to give you a brief understanding. Also, I really do not want to confuse everybody by explaining this performance and potential. So people who really thinks you have this potential in your organization, please reach us at support@keka.com, and for this 9-box model, we will take you exclusively through no, the capabilities of Keka here. So that's about the 9-box, and yes, I have covered the skills last time on the skill matrix. And then we have reports. We have number of reports here. So than me explaining about the reports, I would strongly suggest everybody to go through the reports and check what are the reports you have. So, to give you a brief about this, we have a competency rating report and the core values rating report, where you will get to see all the core values and the rating only for the core values. And if you want to have list of core competencies and list of core values, so this will be useful for you when you are doing reviews next year. You can pull out a report which you have defined last year, and if there are any HR changes or process changes, this will be useful. And then you have employee performance information report, where you will get to see the complete performance details here, the entire performance reviews details. And if you can get the objectives report, and then you'll get objectives with key results report here. And last time people were asking about the difference between a goal and a OKR. So again, as I said it, for 9-box, OKR is again a different methodology and a very vast subject, where I'll have to spend again 15 to 20 minutes of time for explaining only the OKR thing. But still, to give you a brief idea, I'll just tell you the difference. So goals is a very traditional method which has been following by all the organizations so far, where you will have a goal and then you will have a rating toward and you will have a target toward. So you will work on that goal and you will achieve that target. So this is a very traditional goal which you have all been following. And then nowadays things has been changed, and management want to know very keen about the employees, and they have to be very specific about their goals. Then slowly management, all our customers started coming up asking for the OKR methodology. So OKR methodology is nothing but you will have a goal and then you will have key results to it. So where you can define key results, and you will set targets for those key results, and employees will work on those key results and achieve those key results. Ultimately their goal has been achieved. So whereas in a regular goal, you will have a goal and you will achieve that goal. Whereas in OKR, you will have key results and employees will try to achieve those key results. Ultimately, the goal has been achieved. So I'm making it very simple. This is not this simple as I am telling now. There are many things to be covered under OKR methodology. As I said, that's a complete different methodology. So if anybody in the session wants to know deeper about this OKR methodology, we are really open for that. In fact, we want to help you on that. So please reach us. So we will definitely help you with the OKR methodology. Sure, Shrinkala will be more than happy to help you on this. Please reach us at support@keka.com. Somebody from the team will reach you and explain you completely. Sure, Guru Charan. I completely understand, but due to this time constraints, this is already the second part of our performance. So I really do not want to drag it to the third part again, and that will really confuse many of our friends as well here. So please reach us. We will be more than happy to take you exclusively on the OKR thing. Vinod Dabi. Sorry, Vinod. These are just the examples. So I am not sure whether you can. I mean, no organization will fall it. As I said, these are just this is just a demo instance where all our team members will be playing around with this account. So uh, if you want these competencies or common success, you can just Google it. You will find it. Different competencies, core values, and everything. Department wise or team wise, you will get it. In case if you want any help, please reach us. We can also help you on that. Sure, Guru Charan, but there are other customers who was asking for different webinar sessions. We'll definitely consider this. If we have more customers asking for those OKRs, we definitely want to do that. Sure, Shrinkala, will definitely do that. Shrinkala, we have already added a guide in the handouts. Please go through that. You will find it helpful. So any questions or any things you want me to explain more, please let me know. I'll help you on all of that. And I want to bring it up another important thing, which I already said in the first part. But since this is important, I want you to, I want to convey it again. So in Keka, we have a rating scale where you can have, a number of rating scales as you want. But very important thing here is once you go with 5 scale rating scale, so you cannot change it to 10 scale or a 7 scale or a 3 scale in future. So once it is set as 5 scale, 5 scale, it is 5 scale forever. We cannot change it. However, you can have different rating scales with different labels here, but that has to be 5 again. We cannot change it to, we cannot increase, we cannot decrease again. So this is one important thing on rating scale front. So thought I would remind you people again, which I did it on the part 1 session already. So once employee has added the skills, they can see that under the talent tab in the profile, Priyanka. Right. I would also would like to tell you how a reporting manager and an employee can see this. So they can, employees can view this under me and performance and reviews, where they will get to see things like this. And this is already submitted review form. If you want to view it, they can view like this. So this is for an employee, and he can add his objectives here. He can edit, he can add, he can clone. So employee will have access for all of this, and then he can see what are his competencies and core values, and if he has any feedbacks, he'll have it here. And if there are any one-on-one meetings happen, they'll have it here. And as somebody was asking, they can see their skills here. Okay, so this is about employee view. And if reporting manager wants to view it, my team and performance, so they'll get to see this my team and performance on all this only when they have somebody who is reporting to them. If there is nobody, they'll not get to see anything here. And here you will have direct reports and indirect reports. So for example, if I am reporting to somebody, if I am reporting to, let's say, Javed, and Javed is reporting to Samhita. So for Samhita, Javed will be the direct reportee and I will be the indirect reportee. So you can see your indirect reports as well here in the My Team Performance, and you can have direct reports here, and you can have all the team's objectives. As I said, you can add objective to one employee and you can ask reporting manager or the performance admin or the or, both of them to clone those goals. So when I say clone, you need not to add the same goal again and you need not to assign it to employee again. You can just click on clone and you can assign it to employees, but you have to add one goal for sure. So again, you will have direct and indirect report is here, and from here you can manage your objectives, and then you have your continuous feedbacks here, what you have given it to your team, and you will have your one-on-one meetings and your team skills and your team's reports. So this is a reporting manager view. Can you share the approval feature of objectives? Yes, Charu, just wanted to understand like what approval you need. Like you are the one gonna give them the objectives or reporting manager will be giving them the objectives. So need more information on this, please. Right. Okay, you're talking about when employee is adding his goal. Cool. Right. So it'll be again in the same thing. My team performance. Sorry. My team performance and pending actions, where you will get to see all your pending approvals or the nomination approvals and everything here. So you can click here and you can check it through here. I'm sorry that I do not have any a case where I can show that, but you will find it on the same screen. Right. Any other questions? Anybody? Or any suggestions? What webinar session we should come up next week? Okay. Skill rating. Right. You will find it under performance and skills. So as I said, first you will create skill groups. For example, coding is a group and you can have different skills under coding. And if you want to update, click on update and you can add more skills here. We do not have any restriction on number of skills here. Or if you want to add number of skills to your skill repository, and you can pick it up to the skill groups here. So if you want to add a skill, you can add it and you can directly add it to a group, and then you will have the skill matrix here. I'll show you. Right. So here you will get to see who has been assigned with coding skill, and who has been assigned, sorry, coding is a skill group, and who has been assigned with all these five skills. Let's say you want to figure it out who has been assigned with Python. So you will get to see it here. Employee name, the reporting manager, and how efficient they are at this particular Python skill. Similarly, if you want to do it for Java, you can. So this is how you create skills and you assign it to employees here. Right. Right. So we do not have any custom email triggers. I guess we are all covered with the mail notifications part. Gurucharan, if you could elaborate or explain what else notifications you need, we will definitely look into it. Right. Charu, we have already completed this letters and documents some 4 to 5 weeks back, I guess. Fine, we can do it again. As I said, we are going with the module asked by most of our customers, so we'll definitely look into it. Yes, we have covered the complete org tab where there's engagement, the polls, the announcements, and everything has been covered. Gurucharan, I don't think you have access to speak. Even if you speak, we will not be able to hear. So this is, since this is a webinar, we got the access only to the speaker. What do you mean by any update, Gurucharan? Is it from employee or how is it? Or if you are talking about the goal progress. Okay, goal progress. Right. So we considered it, Guru Charan, actually, but the problem here is, uh, let's say if a reporting manager has some, 10 employees under him, and each employee has 15 goals under him. So one reporting manager will have 150 goals under him, and each goal will be updated a minimum 2 times in a month. So employee reporting manager will receive 300 mails, 300 notifications just related to the updates, progress updates. So we really don't want to do that. So that is the reason we stopped considering it as part of the roadmaps. But yeah, if other customers are also interested in it, we can definitely look into it again. Right. Hi, Palak. Once overall process of PMS is completed, so we pull out our rating report by self. No, employee cannot pull out any reports. They'll not have any access to the reports at all. But yes, a reporting manager can do that, or the department head or the performance admin, they can do that. So you have this under the reports, Palak. An employee will get to see his particular rating and his particular his review comments under me and performance. Sure, Palak, I can show you that. Right. Just give me a moment. So this is the report where you will get to see what are the different review cycles and review groups created, and what is the rating for all that. Since we do not have appropriate data here, it is not showing up, but you can check this report called employee review ratings over multiple review cycles, Palak. Sure. Right. So in sure, Palak. Any questions or any help needed? Cool then. So it's been an hour, so we can close this session. Thank you so much for all your patience. Thanks for joining us. I hope you find this session useful. Please let us know. If you are expecting any other modules in our next webinars, we'll definitely look into it. Right. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll meet you all in our next webinar session.